Hola, amigos. Welcome to your deep dive into Spanish.
We're diving into class grammar sentences and vocabulary principiante video, too.
We're going to unlock some beginner grammar today. I feel like I always need to brush up on my grammar. It's like the foundation of everything.
Absolutely. It's the backbone of any language.
So this video jumps right into asking questions.
A very good place to start.
It makes sense. It's how we interact, right?
Exactly.
Especially in a new language. Now, one of the things that they point out right away is the difference in English and Spanish when we're asking a question.
Right.
So like in English, we often have to change the order of the subject and the verb to make it a question.
Right.
But Spanish doesn't always do that, right?
You got it. It's much more flexible.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. It's one of those aha moments when you're learning the language.
Yeah. You're like, oh,
It's simpler.
that's kind of nice. Like, is it a chair?
And only one question mark, too.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Only one question mark. I like that.
Keep it simple.
I like simple. Now, let's say you've mastered, is this a chair?
Okay.
And now you want to ask about the pen on the table. You don't want to be like, is this a chair? Is that a chair? You need to learn it.
Exactly. And that's where your pronouns come in. Eso or essa.
So we can ask, is it a pen?
Yeah.
Exactamente.
Yeah.
And speaking of questions, how about when we have options like or? Is that this or that?
What?
So we can use or in questions the same way we do with just yes-no questions. Like, is this a muffin or a croissant?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got it.
Nice. Okay, so how about this and that?
Yes. Este and ese aquel.
That seems pretty basic, but I'm sure there's more to it.
Well, you're going to use these words constantly when you're in Spanish-speaking countries.
That's true, to point at things.
Yeah, like, look at that. You'll use those words all the time.
So what about S? How can we remember that one?
Well, the guide recommends actually touching the object.
What?
Yeah.
While you say it.
Yes. So if you're learning it, you touch the book and say, este.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so like physical connection.
Right. You make a connection in your brain.
Links it.
Yeah, they say that helps.
Interesting. A's is that?
Ese es un coche.
That is a car.
Yes, exactly.
So how do we know when to use S versus AS?
So S is for something that's like right there, you know.
Closer to you?
Yeah.
Akel is farther away.
Farther away. Like, look at that building way over there.
Okay, I get it. I got it. So we've mastered pointing at things, but how do we find out what they are? Like, what is that?
Right. So now we're getting into asking, what is this? Or what is that?
So how do we ask that in Spanish?
¿Qué es?
¿Qué es? Okay.
So we have ¿Qué es esto? For what is this?
Okay.
And ¿Qué es eso? For what is that?
It's almost like what's that, but with a K sound at the beginning. ¿Qué? What's that?
Right. And make sure you pronounce that T sound at the end of K.
Oh, yeah, that's important. Now, what about answering? So if somebody asks me, ¿Qué es eso? Do I say eso es un?
You can, but it's actually more natural in Spanish to just use S.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh, interesting.
So you'd say, es un libro. It's a book. Or, es una mesa. It's a table.
Ah, so it's more about keeping it concise.
Exactly. Just like with the question mark.
I like it. Less is more. So we've covered the what and the is it this or that. Now we need some actual words to use. I noticed this guide gives us some helpful vocabulary.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Some good essential words to get you started.
Like the question words, right? We need those.
Exactly. Donde is where.
Someday, okay.
And then, of course, you've got ¿Qué?, which we just talked about.
So if I want to know what something is, I just point and say, ¿Qué es esto?
Exactly.
Perfecto. Now I'm ready for some adventure. How do you say plane and train?
Okay, so plane is avión.
Avion.
And train is tren.
Tren. That's easy. Sounds just like the English word. Okay, last one. What about some words for places?
All right, so city is ciudad.
Ciudad. Okay.
Country is país.
País. Got it. And what about street?
Ah, good one. So you have calle, which is a street you walk down.
Okay.
And carretera, which is more like a road or a highway.
So if I'm driving, I'm a carretera.
Exactamente.
Fantástico. I feel like we covered so much today.
We did. We tackled some essential Spanish grammar.
Word order, those tricky this and that, words, how to ask what is that, and even some key vocabulary.
And remember, even practicing these few words and concepts can make a big difference.
Absolutely. So keep practicing, amigos, and hasta la vista.